Okay, ladies and gentlemen, in this video I'm going to show you how to do an end-to-end cold email campaign using the Headhunters agent. So first step, we're going to open Chrome. Okay, once we've opened Chrome, we're going to log into our LinkedIn profile if you haven't already done so, and we're going to launch the Chrome extension. Okay, so the Chrome extension, if you've already pinned it, it should be here. If you haven't, simply click on this puzzle icon and you can unpin it or pin it over here. Once you've pinned it, you can launch it. It will then ask you to log in, so you put in your credentials. And once you've done that, the first thing you need to do is create a campaign. Okay? In this case, I've already created a campaign that's ready to go. If you've got multiple campaigns, ensure you select the one that you want to use for your mass outreach. Okay? Last thing you want to do is have a campaign about a a health role you've got in, I don't know, Brisbane, and you're actually recruiting right now for an IT person in New Zealand. You want to make sure you're consistent and have the right campaign selected. All right, good. So in this case, I have the right campaign. What I might do is just test it. So I might go to Recruiter. Yeah, some Shitha will do. And you want to test your message and make sure you're happy with the tone, the information, and the format. We have different types of messaging. You might prefer more script-driven messaging for more predictable, bespoke messaging. You might prefer more AI messaging, or it could just be a matter of playing around with the words and making it more concise or detailed, whatever you like. So in this case, we're going to manually do it. Click on the extension and click Compose. It says over here it can take up to 10 seconds. Fine for the first one. It can take a bit longer, but that was quite quick. Okay, so it's got the right name, so it's passing correctly. It knows she's the Senior Business Associate, Tech Mahindra, for over 3.5 years. So this is what I mean about personalized messaging, okay? You know when you see a generic message, but you know you see a message that's specific about you. It says here you've probably had your hands full coordinating complex business, and that's because she's actually mentioned that kind of stuff here. Again, it's all that personalized messaging that we want. So to find that message, okay, we've already basically lost it. Let's generate another one. Okay, and again, you'll see it's a different message. Again, going back to that concept of personalized. You don't want to be mass sending the same stuff. All right, good. So we mentioned this part was quite good. It's obviously been rewritten differently. Here it talks about $59 a month. For the messaging, I'm actually trying to sell the product that I'm trying to sell you guys. So you can see it's got all the information here. It's rewritten it and personalized it. It's got attention to watch the video. All right, perfect. Very good. I'm happy with that. Let's put it on auto drive. So step 2 is to now automate this. You don't want to go through hundreds of profiles, manually clicking compose, copying them into your Gmail. That takes too long. So this is going to speed that process up for you. So you're going to click on the tab that says extension, and this is on the far right hand corner. In the input file, you want to make sure you're using text or a notepad. Okay? Select open and put the 2 profiles that you want. Look, one of these is my wife's, and another is a good friend of mine who's happy to use her public profile for the purpose of this demo, so that's fine. All right, good. And for the output, what you want to do is ensure that you use an XLSX file. Okay, if you use any other type of Excel file, it won't work. Make sure you use that one. Now we're going to click Start. Okay, and what it's going to do, it's going to navigate to those 2 profiles that we nominated. Now, I only put 2 in this instance. Realistically, you can put up to 100. I wouldn't put more than 100 because there's limits on LinkedIn, and you want to stay within those limits. Otherwise, you can risk getting your account suspended. All right, so what it's actually doing is it's come over to Ashitha's page, and this is her direct URL for her LinkedIn. And although you can't see it interacting with the extension, it's actually pinged it through the back end. And it's basically hit the compose button, copied it, and put it into this Excel spreadsheet over here. Sorry, XLSX file. Make sure you're using the right file. Okay, now it's come over to my wife's profile, and it's essentially doing the same thing. You can see that it's working. It's hitting compose somewhere on the back end, and it's going to copy that. All right, so that's complete. So if we click up open now, voila, here's your personalized messaging. Okay? So this is very important. Personalized messaging is the key. Very good. All right, now we're going to go over to step 3. So step 3 is the email finder tool. All right, same principle. You want to use a text file to input your information. Again, it's Ashitha and Amelia. And the output is where it's going to spit out if it can find those emails. Now, we just use the Apollo API. I don't have a special algorithm myself. You actually see up here the amount of credits. You'll get 500 every month. Now I'll click start while I talk you through. It's trying to find the two profiles, so it's pinging Apollo database to see if they can find Ashitha. I don't know if he'll find her email address. It'll be interesting to see if it does. Okay, it says I had a bit of an issue here. Let's have a look. Let's open it up. Okay, I think I know what the issue might be. Okay, I think the issue is I was using the same output file as I was for the extension. It doesn't like that. You've got to have separate files. Okay, so what we might do is we might change this one. We'll go select desktop, and I've got a few out here. We'll change it to this one. We'll replace it. All right, let's run that again. Okay, now it's hit the cache, and the reason that it hits the cache is so that we're not wasting credits. If someone using the Headhunters technology has already searched for the candidate profile that you're requesting, we don't have to waste a credit. It will actually go to our database instead, and it will copy that in, saving you a credit. So some cool technology. I think we're on 482, and it's gone down to 481. So that means it was only able to find one profile. So if we click open now, we should see a completely different XLSX file. All right, cool. Now, it wasn't able to find my wife's email, which is fine. I actually know her email address. Okay, sweet. But it was able to find Ashitha's, which is pretty cool. All right, sweet. Now, if you are in India and you're looking for a role in healthcare, feel free to hit Ashitha up. Likewise, if you're in the healthcare industry and you need some people to work for you, please hit Ashitha up. So now I've basically done 3 of the 4 steps, okay? So we set up our extension, we automated the extension compositions, we've found the emails, and now we're going to top it off with basically the cold sending. Now you can use 2 options here. You can either do Gmail or Outlook. For the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to use Gmail, but I'll do a separate video if you've got Outlook. Okay, so you come over to Gmail, you put your Gmail address here, and you put your app password. Just a reminder, app password is different to your regular Gmail password. Okay, so when you log on to your inbox on Gmail, you're putting your regular password. App password is different. I won't talk you through how to set up an app password. There's plenty of videos covering that, but it's a separate process. Okay, you have to generate an app password, and you use it for special tools regarding integration like we have here. So you put your app password here. All right, now what we're going to basically do is go over to a new file that I have, and this is called another XLSX file, and it's called the Gmail tool. You'll see there's 3 categories here: to, subject, and body. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to come over to get our email addresses, and we're going to copy these for the to section. Okay, so to is the email addresses that you put in. Subject, this is what you want to title your email. So it could be recruitment technology. Are you using AI to help place more candidates? And look, I generally want to use the same subject. Okay, so look, if you're doing this for 100 people, you could just basically copy this 100 times if you needed to. Okay, but we're only going to do it for 2. And the body, let's just be a simple copy and paste. Copy that. Put in the Gmail tool. Voila. All right, sweet. Just make that a little bit easier to read. Great. So you'll see over here in the body, it's got all the information personalized for each candidate. So Amelia's got her separate message, talks about how she's working at the Digital Professionals. And Ashitha's is different, talking about Cigna Healthcare. So even though it's selling the same thing, you can see the bespoke personalized messaging in action. All right, so now we're going to save this. Downloads. Gmail demo video. All right, so in Gmail, we're going to select a new one. We're going to go to our download section. Gmail demo video. And we're going to click send. Oh, sorry, start. So it's starting to send emails. So what it's doing now is it's reading Okay, so it wants to send 39. That's interesting. The reason it wants to send 39 is because I've actually put content previously. So I just done a cold email campaign this morning, and I unfortunately forgot to clear these boxes. So you can see these boxes here, which would be 39 in total. Yeah, so 40 to 39. That makes sense. So what it's doing is it's seeing content in these boxes and it's trying to send, but it's not actually finding the information there. Don't worry about that. I'll give you a completely clear XLXX file that you can use so that when you are running this, you won't have filled boxes. That's confusing it. But regardless, it still basically worked. It was able to send the email to Ashitha and Amelia. And hypothetically, if you did have 39 emails with 39 subjects and 39 unique bodies, it would have sent them out to all those people as well. So that's a quick demonstration. Look, we had a couple of small little hiccups along the way, but it's good that you got to see those. So, when you're using this technology, again, you don't want to be using the same output file for the extension as you're doing for the email finder. For the Gmail tool, if you're only going to be sending to 2 people, make sure you don't have content. I don't know if you can see in the video that I'll upload, but there is these boxes highlighted in blue. Okay, so when I deleted the text content, it didn't delete all the different content, which in this case was some kind of table tool that we were using for the 39. But again, that's a quick overview of how to use the tool. If you have any questions, please put a comments in the YouTube videos, or you can send us an email. Please hit us up. If you've got any feedback or you think this could be easier, you're more than welcome to hit us up about that as well. We have had some people say, look, it's pretty full on, there's different steps. In that case, you want to be using the full automation tool. Okay, so the full automation tool, you can actually do a send email, and it will scrape the email address of the candidate you want, and it will also basically use your Gmail credentials and send them a personalized outreach message as well. So if you don't want to do all these steps, you're welcome to use that. The additional benefit of automation is that you can actually use the AI analyzer as well. So you don't even have to manually find candidate profiles. You can actually just put in who it is you're looking for, and it will crawl LinkedIn, qualify or disqualify candidate, and send the email specifically to qualified candidates. Now, but this is a premium feature, the automation tool. Okay, so if you want the one-stop, button to do all your work for you, you've got to sign up for $59 a month. But if you're just doing a quick trial and using the free version, and you want to make sure it works for you, yeah, by all means, run the extension, find the emails. You'll have, I think it's about 20 credits that you can use, and use either Gmail or Outlook to send those out. Now, just because you have access to the full automation feature doesn't mean you should always use it. Me personally, I actually have a list of leads that I paid for. So I had a sales guy. He uses a number of different email finding tools, and he was able to send me 1,000 leads for Asia. So I didn't want to waste my Apollo credits when I had already purchased these leads from somewhere else. So that's why I want to run the extension separately. Also, I already have a list of candidates that I want to work with. So I already had a short list of people that I wanted to target for sales. So I didn't want to waste my DeepSeek or ChatGPT credits analyzing different profiles. So just because you've got the full auto feature doesn't mean it's always going to be the best solution for you. Another reason that you wouldn't use the full automation feature is if you only have Outlook. Okay, so the full automation feature only integrates with Gmail. Unfortunately, there's no app password or equivalent for Outlook. So if you want to use Outlook, you'll have to do the manual steps. Again, just a quick summary. If you want to do a cold email reach campaign, there's 2 ways to do it, or potentially 3. You can do it manually and using Outlook, manually using Gmail, or you can do the full automation. So that concludes the video. I will do a separate one on the Outlook feature because it's a little bit different on how that works. But again, if you've got any questions, hit us up, and happy recruiting.